Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you are just joining me for the first time, I'm Astrologer Val Evans. This is a special edition for subscribers and members will be able to watch this on replay. Thanks for joining my channel. Today, I will be making predictions for superstar actors Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and what's in store for them this year. This is a lesson to help you read your chart and make your own predictions. On this channel, it's about astrology where we don't judge the people or the subjects. We look at their energy and what they are here to experience while on planet Earth. Now, in the case of Angie and Brad, it's about experiencing massive fame, dealing with massive loss, a long war, loss of children, and family despair. Now, the word war will be associated for a long time with Pitt and Jolie and their family. This can be explained by Aries, which is so prominent in their charts, particularly Angelina's. Aries represents guns, knives, boxing, war, metal, reddish hair, and anger. And it means to fight. Aries is the warrior of the zodiac. But can either actors let go, or will the war of the rosé continue? That, of course, is a reference to the major theme in their astrological charts, the vineyard, which is represented by Neptune, the symbol of spirits. So we're going to take a look at some of these charts, and I'm going to welcome everyone in. Oh, we're going to take a look. There's some Chiron in this chart. Good call. What do you guys think about this whole big thing? Like, I think we can all see ourselves in. Some of you are going to shake your head, but in this drama, because sometimes you are in a long period of time where you just can't move on. It could be a relationship, it could be your home situation, moving, it could be family. There are any number of ways this can manifest, but it just seems like this drama will not end. I want to look at Angelina's birth chart. She is a Cancer rising. So we're going to look at the moon up here, and not a big surprise. Moon is in Aries for her. It's in this big stellium too. When she gets mad, she doesn't get mad like a normal person. She becomes a soldier. She is a warrior. Jupiter here is just expansive. It means as if you're looking at her and you're looking at 10 soldiers, very large, strong soldiers, which is equal to one Angelina. Mars, she's got guns, she's got knives. If she doesn't, she loves them. And Mars is in Aries. So this is somebody who you do not mess with because she will get her way. Now, Chiron is really interesting too because it's way up at the top there and shows wounds. It shows that as she fights, she gets wounds. You can also see Chiron means it means a mark. Sometimes it means a beauty mark when you're looking at famous actresses like Marilyn Monroe and also Cindy Crawford. But for her, the mark that she is going to have could be scars, but it's usually tattoos. There might be tattoos, a lot of tattoos, because of Jupiter showing lots and lots. So when we see this in a crime chart or somebody's chart, we can spot someone who probably has a lot of tattoos. Now, keep in mind, what is Jupiter here? Jupiter is the husband. And there's going to be a husband in there, and he's going to be very famous. And he's also going to be a warrior. So not only is she's Mars, but she's got a famous husband that she is fighting for. Hello, Saturn. This is a square to Saturn. And when you have a square to Saturn, this is a long time. This reminds me and is reminiscent of the long war with Prince William and Prince Harry. In Prince William's chart, you can see Saturn and Moon conjunct. And I believe we saw that with Prince Harry when we were looking at one of his charts as well. So this is a very long war. This is a Cold War. And like they say, War of the Rosé. So this is in her birth chart. She's going to have to feel this energy when she's here. All right. So when we have trouble with our families, we look to the fifth house and we look to the fifth house Lord. And for her, the fifth house is in Scorpio. So the adoptive theme is going to come in. She's maybe when she was growing up, she felt like she was adopted because her parents were so famous that maybe she had to look to another family to have a normal life in what she thought was normal. But of course, this would manifest into her own family life where she would want to adopt. So there would be adoptions there. With Sag here, this is the Hollywood family. Uh, Sagittarius means Hollywood. And so you can see that there's a lot of aspects to the fifth house. And here they are with the blue rectangle there. This is a very famous family, which is Jupiter and the moon. And then add Pluto to it, extreme fame. We're talking over the top fame. You've never seen so much fame in your life. And this is really good for her ego. The sun in Gemini. The sun is your ego, your confidence. You walk around like, you are the boss, basically. And she feels good. Her family gives her confidence. There are exceptions, though, because we've got Saturn in the mix. And Saturn represents the partner. So Saturn just kind of blocks it all, which is what Brad Pitt is doing, according to her. Now, probably anyway. So this is Angelina when she's an adolescent, and I just wanted to represent what she was when she was an adolescent. She was Jupiter. So Jupiter, once that started activating around 11 years old, 10, 11 years old to about I want to say 17 or 18, this is the planet that she's in. So she is probably becoming pretty famous even during as an adolescent because her parents are so famous. So she's a nepo baby, as they say. So MC, which is what this is on, this is the MC here, represents the career, the mother, the public. So we have her just becoming famous, but also probably being very angry about certain things and trying to deal and manage her anger. All right, so this is her chart, and there's a name asteroid in here that I put in, and that is Brad Pitt. Can you believe there's an asteroid named Brad Pitt? And there's also an asteroid for Angelina, which I will show you in a minute in Brad's chart. So let's take a look. This is Angelina's birth chart on astro.com, and you can see Mercury here is retrograde. So she it's in the 11th house, and you can see that the more that she speaks, the more famous she gets and maintains her fame because of Jupiter and the moon showing fame. And also that she's a famous warrior. So she loves to talk, and she loves to talk about knives, and she loves to talk about guns. Now you can also see there is a trine to Uranus, the planet of divorce, and it's in Libra. Divorce is going to be a big one for her. And Uranus is going to be pretty big too. It really manifests for her in her life a couple of ways. The good way and the bad way, of course, dealing with a divorced family as she is growing up, dealing with divorce right now, currently. And, it's not her first divorce that she's had, but also, on the good side, she does things when she speaks or when she takes on projects. They have a prophetic value to it. So she is doing something, and unfortunately, with with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it would be prophetic in the sense that she would be in a long war with her husband and fellow actor Brad Pitt. So that whole I don't know if you've seen it lately, but if you take a look at Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie, and see how many references there are of what would happen, that's going to show with a trine to Uranus that whatever she's thinking, or the 11th house is your goal. It is, let's see. It's also being on TV too. So when she's on TV, she is doing something potentially prophetic, and that was definitely the case. There's also a few other movies with her where I think that would also apply. But let's take a look. So she wants to talk, Mercury is to talk, trine Uranus about divorce. And she might want to talk about other things too, foreign things. She is interested in foreign projects and helping children, which is also Mercury. Mercury retrograde would be little kids who don't have a home. And so she wants to help them. She legitimately does. But here is Brad, and Brad is squaring Mercury. This means Brad does not want her to talk. Please do not talk about our divorce. Would prefer if you did something else. But the problem is that when she doesn't talk, um, then it kind of takes off the strength of these trines and sextiles. Here's Brad's chart, and it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I love it when she puts well, it was like the very beginning of the movie, and she puts that black outfit on, and then she flies out the window. That's strong. I love that one. Toy, I'm a true Libra who really loathes confrontation, so I hold and explode. Yes, a lot of us do. I think it just depends on what scenario or what situation. The Chiron in the 10th house shows she'd be talking about her scars and tats, and the whole world would see it. That would be on display. So that would be the 10th house. Aaron, man, I just like to say this, but the way Brad did Jennifer is just wrong. The little 7th house in me loves seeing karmic justice and love. I got a new perspective with that whole thing, looking at these charts, because Brad, in fact, you can see it here. Look at Brad's 5th house. It is in Aries. So if she had stuck with him, she would have had that Aries energy. And of course, she was very upset. She was mad. So Jennifer would manifest that Aries energy. She would be pissed. But at the same time, she would not be giving birth to a group of warriors, which is what I believe Brad Pitt has now. That's what 5th house. Now, sometimes it can be really good. You can have a house full of police officers, people who are in the military, and that certainly may happen for him. There's going to be a lot of 5th house, but it's a lot of fighting too, because for him, Mars is in a square with Jupiter. So it's kind of like lots and lots and lots and lots of fighting and feeling bad because that T square that is being activated with Jupiter, just so much fighting. And what's so interesting is it might not have happened in my mind if they hadn't gotten married. Why is that? Because Jupiter, there's Jupiter, that's marriage. And you can see the T square here, right here. It's pretty bad. Jupiter in Aries is an angry marriage, that's what was activated. So yeah, you've got Angelina, the beautiful warrior, the very famous warrior who likes to talk. And that would not go well for him. This is Angelina Jolie's soul return chart. We're going to make some predictions now. Now, this is going to be her chart starting June. So this is June 4th when her birthday was. We're going to look at this solar return year with the Oscar in there. I want to see, is it possible for her to get this Oscar? So it looks like there's a kite there which shows success. She can do it. She can do it, and it's in the cards for her. But there are people who are super angry that not only are there people super angry that she's even being considered for an Oscar, but she's also very angry about ninth house matters. So funny how ninth house is going to be the court. It's going to be the press, and it's also going to be the month that the Oscars are taking place. And how would you do that? You would start with June, then go to July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February 4th to March 4th. And the Oscars are March 2nd. So they're right in there. And she is going to, it's funny because right after the Oscars, Uranus is over here in the 12th house. It seems like there's something that's a secret, and it's also devil energy as well. There is so much Aries, so many wounds, so much anger going on here. Now we look at what I want to do is I wanted to look at the 8th house, because this house is the month where they make the announcement for who is nominated. This is the nominations month, and it's in the eighth house. Now, the eighth house is revenge. And so there's somebody who wants to take her down because of what happened. There's plenty of people, there's probably a line of people that do not want to see her up there. So on the podium accepting an Oscar. So Saturn is here 18 degrees. This is the devil. And the devil, whoever this is, looks like the corporate level, because that's the eighth house. There is a trine to part of fortune in the second house. There's a lot of money that is involved somehow. You can see that there's a ton of people here who are pissed. And so, who are these people? Well, let's see. Where's Mars? Mars is the internet, it's friends, and they do not want this success. You can see how there is Aries here. It is so mad. Like, it's crazy. Now, the ninth house, remember, is the court case. So this could also be part of the narrative. So there seems to be success, but then also just total anger and betrayal as well. So my thinking is you could either say that she gets the nomination, but she loses something in court, or she loses the nomination or the award itself, and she could win in court. But there's sort of like one or the other that's happening. Also, did you see that when you have Gemini and it is squaring something, in this case Saturn, it could square anything. Gemini turns to gossip. And in the 12th house, these are people who are gossiping behind her back, behind Angelina's back. And so much gossip. Well, who's in the middle of all of this? Well, it seems like it's a partner. And that partner is pretty good looking too, because Venus is next to Jupiter. And boy, there is so much talking. And there is a square to her career. It seems as if there's definitely somebody blocking and they want to strike. And so this is all together. This is a partner strikes. So there is possibly something kind of dirty that's happening and possibly could throw her off the pedestal. But, if I were to tell Angelina, what does this year look like for you? It looks like something's going to make you pretty mad and upset. However, this looks like massive success somehow. And the 11th house, usually when the 11th house is packed, it's, and there's some trines that are going through it, it's some good news. These aren't great planets to have in the 11th house, but she's still getting some type of success this year. Now, Saturn too in her 10th house, this is a return to a career and being very, very successful doing it. And so that can also be something very positive for her. It could turn out to where she's nominated, and that does a tremendous service to her career. So that's a possibility too, that it's part of the equation. But her career definitely looks like it's taking off. And wow, there's a lot of people who are pretty angry. Now, here's another thing too. Another way this could work out is these are people who are really pissed off that she didn't get nominated. Look at how there's a T square here. And this is right around the time of the nominations, a little bit after. So, yeah, these are people who are pretty mad. All right, so I'm going to get to the next one in a second. Um, yeah, I think so too. I think that's going to be coming in. We're going to look at that. Angel, you say, I can imagine Brad announcing he's getting engaged to his young girlfriend, in my opinion, allegedly. Yes. Um, yes, that also happened too. There are whispers of her secretly seeing Akala. I think he has a partner, and he was just telling everyone that he has a girlfriend the other day. So, yeah, selling to an oligarch was incredibly vengeful, in my honest opinion, says Angel. And yeah, I agree. Angel maybe loses the court case about the wine. Lots of whispers. That's right. In the 12th. So many. So much gossip. And usually, with all of that gossip, you can see who's in the middle of it, and definitely is going to be a partner. I think we know who that is. You're lying in bed. I love it. That's so Pisces. Um, yeah, I am trying to stop coffee, but it's so hard. But they say that it's it's not good for you. It causes inflammation. So, and it's better for you when you're trying to sleep. Okay. Hey, Carrie, nice to see you from Chicago. And yeah, Angel never sleeps. And oh, Zebra Girl's here. And yeah. hmm Okay, Toy, I hope she doesn't get snubbed. I like her. I can't help it. I just do. It'll be so interesting to see who is so angry. And let's see who this could be. The 11th house is the 5th house from Brad. So this is his family. I think the anger from his family, and it's already coming out now, that could potentially really put the wrench in for her and take things down. We will see. There's a lot of people who like Brad, but a lot of people I think who don't like him too. All right, now we're going to continue this investigation of the Oscar and sabotage by a partner. All right, now this is Angelina's 25-26 calendar. This is really interesting. We have got the sun here. She's a queen at this point. I mean, it's always nice to have the rising sign or the ascendant right on Regulus, which is the queen fixed star. Now, with that, the sun is up here, but the problem is she is unable to speak. No more speaking. And there's a square to Saturn in the 8th house and another square to the moon. This is troubling. This is very troubling. And in the 10th house shows something gets stopped. It's shut off. And it's like, but she's really, okay, that's weird. The 10th house, everybody is seeing her being silenced. That's very strange. Now, there is a very minor trine here to Pluto, and Pluto's revenge. Pluto is a lot of attention online. 6th house is something good that's happening in her work life. But it seems to me there could be there's something shocking coming up. Now, the 9th house is the court. So we're going to look to Mars. This is the court. And the court is shutting something down. Keeping in mind, this is Angelina's solar return chart. Starts in June. And so we've got June. This isn't going to be till the fall, I don't think. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now, this isn't till 2026. So it's going to be 2026 when all hell breaks loose. And what is it centered around? Well, it's somebody who's going to be pretty shocked. And that's the partner for her. This is Brad up here. He is in a square to Mars at 22 degrees. So this looks, now it could be a film that he's in that suddenly is interrupted. Can't do it anymore. But it looks like her ex, which would be the 7th house in Aquarius. This is an ex. He's way up there with her. And then remember, the other planet that represents Brad is here. And that squares Saturn and the moon just like her. So they both are not able to speak. This could simply be the court saying that's enough, and maybe even doing something that's shocking, that hurts somehow. The biggest thing with her chart that's negative is this. It's a T-square here with Mars there. There's somebody is causing harm. Now, the 9th house, this could be, this is a bully. Somebody is bullying Brad, and it looks shocking. It looks shocking. I mean, we have 22 there. So what am I supposed to say? It just looks like he has to be very cautious. So seeing something like this, you would look at it and you'd say, okay, let's not do, of course, this is her chart. But if you were Brad looking at Angie's chart and you were like, God, that's me up there, you would not go abroad. This is the planet for being abroad. Mm-mm. And so there's danger there. There's danger. It could be just danger on the set where he's just like, holy God, what did I get myself into? I should have stayed in the States. There is a nice trine. This is a point of Thales here. And there is something here that makes him famous. I mean, he's already famous, but this is something that is, this is fame. This is incredible, incredible fame for something. Could be something that has to do with his money. He's investing in Bitcoin. I don't know. Angie doesn't care. So we're going to move on because this is her chart. Okay. Hang on one second. Kimberly. Yeah, I know, Kimberly Maddox. Well, and that's, these are warriors, remember? So she's teaching them to fight and be warriors and to win. Hmm. Oh, God, toy. Okay, hold on. Jody said, all hell breaks out in mundane astrology too. Not looking good. Yeah, good call. Uh-oh, teenagers. Welcome back. Zebra, you love Brad and Angelina. Well, you see Mr. and Mrs. Smith and you see the chemistry and you kind of like dream about it in a sense. It's like, oh, that would be nice to have that type of thing. But so embarrassing to have that all played out on camera. Obviously, a warrior does not care. She goes straight ahead. She's not looking back. But I also think that with her birth chart, the psychology of it is that she's a renegade. She has to do her own thing. And it's almost like not only is she fighting others, but she's fighting Hollywood. And who was Jennifer Aniston? She was kind of like the girl next door. She was something that represented what did her maybe wrong when she was younger, and it represented what the industry that her parents were in. So maybe there was some kind of healing from that. Yeah. You guys are so funny. Yeah, I mean, this group would definitely be good at Trivial Pursuit, that's for sure. At least for me, it would have to be the pop culture edition. Now, let's see here. So you guys can see that okay. All right. So, we got a murderer here. I'm sorry to say. It's a killer. And Brad, please don't go abroad. Just don't. That's all I'm saying. Don't mean to laugh, but I mean, what am I seeing? And it's kind of embarrassing to say. Now, at the same time, this could also be a film role where he is playing a killer. And so you can see that there's a sextile here and it's in like this grand trine. So with Brad and Angie, it's weird. Their art imitates life. So they have to be careful of what projects they take on. All right, this is the transit progressed for March 2nd. This is the day of the Oscars. Now, this chart would show she's got a lot of potential for this win. Uranus is here. This is a complete surprise. She can't believe it. Something is surprising. Of course, it's in the 9th house, so we don't know what it is. Could be in the press, could be the court. Something is happening that is really good for her. She's really happy about it. And so this again is March 2nd. The transits are on the outside and her progressed planets are on the inside. You can see with her progressed, you're going to look at Jupiter always for the partner with a conjunction to Chiron. This is a hurt partner. This is somebody who hurts as well. in Aries, very, very angry. These planets move super slow, so it's in there for a while. And eighth house is the house of revenge. So this is a partner who is wounded, who wants to wound potentially, in my opinion, and is there's that revenge and betrayal type of energy there. But this arrow is going to the Jupiter transit, which is also Brad in Gemini. Oh, Brad's talking. Oh, yes, he is. And he's talking about something. I don't know. He's on TV. But look at how and you guys know because you watch this channel, he is squaring Black Moon Lilith there. There seems to be something that is happening that is a complete shock that's coming out. He might be saving it for around this time, but it seems to me like it could be an act of sabotage by a partner. So that's the problem here with what's happening in the 10th house. Um, and you can also see with that trine to the moon right here. This is a famous partner. So he's probably doing something whatever he's doing helps his career, but it really is not only is it shocking for her career, but it is nasty. So I am not sure what that is, but it looks like it could be some form of sabotage. But let's not forget, she's got some pretty wealthy friends, and the 11th house, they are really supporting her. We don't know exactly how they're supporting her, but definitely behind the scenes. We know people who know people. I'm on the board of this and that. We're going to the Hollywood, luncheon over at Spago or the Hollywood Hotel or wherever they meet, and we're gonna take meetings. We're gonna take lots of meetings, and we're gonna make this happen for you. So it seems as if she's got her own army here, and they're pretty strong. All right, so this is Brad Pitt's solar return chart for the one that's coming up. It's December 18th, 2024, and that's going to go into 2025. Looks like tons and tons of success because of Saturn here and trining the moon. This is something that he's doing potentially. It could even have something to do with the family, his family, but let me see. Yeah, he's doing great from his work perspective. But let's take a look at where let me see. This is the month. This happens to be his chart ruler, which is Mercury, and this is the month of the Oscars. So it would be December 18th, then January 18th, then February 18th, starting the third house to March 18th. So this is Oscar season, and look at how, of course, it is starting out in Scorpio. So revenge. And so not only would you look at that month, but you look at that chart ruler, and there we go. There's Pluto, and it is opposing Mars. This is an explosion of revenge. And I think that Mars is also could be Angelina, because Mars is representing the seventh and the eighth house. It could also be the top corporate level of something because it's the eighth house ruler. So this is just an act of revenge that is happening, and he wants it to be successful. And who could blame him really? Especially when you give someone something and they turn around and they sell it. In his opinion, that's what happened. So that's happening there. Something it's pretty explosive, and it has to do with the family because it's in the fifth house. So there's something that is an act of revenge, and it's probably his family. It just started happening too with, I believe it was his niece or his cousin showing photos of the family. So this is starting to come out now. They're waiting though. They're waiting possibly um, a few weeks before the nominations and then before the actual ceremony. So this is a big month for Brad Pitt. It is the month of the Oscars, and he's not going to be accepting any Oscars. So, with Scorpio there, wow. But here's the other thing. We have some trines here. This looks like, oh God, this looks ugly. There, oh geez, Neptune is video and photos. And so it's also spies and secrets. So this is Pandora's box, and it is, oh, it's happening February 18th to March 18th. Brad's saying something, and look at how there's a trine here. He sure has a lot of power, I gotta say. And there are some things, it just reminds me of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. One person's trying to do something. She's sitting up there in that bird's nest trying to get the target, and the target is the Oscar, and he's coming in with, his dune buggy playing, Motley Crue or whatever, and trying to screw it up for her. And so that's such a great visual of what's happening this year for both of them. And then what happens is, they blow each other up and she escapes. but neither, I don't think, win that scene anyway. You know what I want to do? I want to look up something real quick. It's Brad Pitt. You got to see this scene in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And it is the one with Vince Vaughn. I hope I'm allowed to show this. And remember what Aries represents. It represents boxing and fighting.
I asked her to marry me. What? I'm getting married. What? I can't hear you. I'm getting married. I can't hear him. Can you stop hitting him? I think he said something crazy. Getting married.
I mean, was that prophetic or what? As soon as he starts thinking about getting married, he's going to get pummeled. And so that would be a Uranus trine there showing the future. God. Brad Pitt still Oscar-less for leading actor. Oh, I did not know that. I don't keep track. Yep, and in the Fight Club movie too. I was thinking about that as well. Fighting is big for him. He is going to fight. He's going to be the top dog. Well, he kind of met his twin. It's sort of like his twin. And twinning is so big for both of them because they have twins. Anytime you've got that Leo energy where there's just, the king, not only does he have twins, but his friend George has twins. Cindy Crawford, his friend, has a twinning daughter. Everybody's twins because, they're involved with television, the Gemini and the Leo. So, yeah. And then that fighting too. There's also going to be like a twin type of scenario where someone steals someone away, like the Elizabeth Taylor and, the other couple where she takes the husband. So it was a famous, famous scandal in the 60s, right after Mike Todd died. And it was Deborah, you know what I'm talking about. So you wonder, oh, definitely. I mean, the answer is yes. I don't even know who that is. Vince Vaughn. Jennifer, you mean? Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. For Brad, you want to look at your sun for your solar return. And if it looks like this, uh, this is tough. This is right after the Oscars. So this would be another point for Angie because he feels dejected. There's something that happens here. This could also have something to do with the vineyard because of Neptune representing Angie and also the vineyard. So there's something that is stopping him here right after the Oscars. Not sure exactly what that is, but the month after the Oscars would be represented by Jupiter, and Jupiter's up there in the ninth house. So there's going to be a lot of. Here's the thing about his chart. You can see Jupiter in Gemini. These are the twins, and they're in the ninth house. They're going to be in the news a lot. And I have a feeling as part of the war and all of that, the constant fighting, those twins are going to be out there kind of just as a knife. It's like the kids are each a very sharp knife when, you don't have communications. Okay. So this is Angelina's progress chart right now. So you can see the twins up here. And let's not forget, we have so many twins. Her twins, the youngest ones, I can't remember their names, Vivian and the other one. Then we've got the adopted boys who also seem like they're twinning, same types of, darker aspects to them. Then we have Shiloh, and Shiloh is kind of like the twin to Angie. So, anyway, you get the idea. Well, we've got Mercury here. This is twins, and they are kind of up here with Saturn, and that's kind of like sad. They're kind of sad. And so Mercury and this being the progress chart for Angelina, she is a Virgo rising, and we've got Mercury. This is also Angelina. Okay, so she's there. Where is Brad? Well, Brad's over here, and he's causing some wounds. They're each causing each other wounds. Now, I mean, have you seen a more difficult progress chart? I don't know if I have, because not only is there a square to Neptune, which represents the seventh house of partnerships, but there's also a big, square with Jupiter. This is a quincunx. And it's awful. And Neptune is down at the bottom. And what's Neptune? That's the vineyard. And it's also, alcoholism as well. So big, just complete shut off. Saturn is to be dry, to be sober. So she's up here being sober. Now here's something that's really interesting too. For her progress chart, here's another T-square where she's got the twins up here with her. She's not allowing him to have a relationship. So they are in there. And actually, you know what? This is really the chart right now. Okay, you can see this. But now notice here's Brad here and Brad here. They are at each other's throats. Eighth house is really being activated. Eighth house showing revenge and betrayals. He believes she betrayed him. She believes he betrayed her. And it is, it's almost like they get drunk, because Neptune is to be drunk when they're fighting each other. There's just something. And also remember that Neptune is appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So, Angelina is probably upset that this whole thing disappeared on her, not just her husband, but also the vineyard. Sort of, kind of. Okay, but the reason I was showing you this one, this is not until, I want to say this is 2028. Okay, this is a few years away, but then look what's happening. We've got the vineyard. We also have Brad. And you can see that this is being activated, her second house here. And the sun is right here and trining. So you've got a blue triangle right here. Something is happening where they are getting something, they meaning the kids, the twins. And it would seem as if somebody is secretly having, a family type of connection with Brad. There is an opening of relations here. It's not going to be for everybody to see, but there will be. Mercury is going to start to move, and Brad will be able to see his kids again. But it'll be a period of between now and maybe 4 years. So he's going to have to wait. It's all about waiting, which is what a lot of us can relate to. How long have you waited for something to, move on from a relationship, for the relationship to get better, for you to move out of, the neighborhood? There can be long, long periods of wait. And that's what Brad is dealing with. One of the things anyway. Okay. Now, this is Angelina's 2035 progressed. I went all out. And we've got her as Virgo rising, and she's Mercury up here with all of this, my God, Leo energy. It seems to me that she's a princess and she's in the 11th house of hopes and dreams. This is Taylor Swift territory when you've got a nice sextile and a nice trine. This is the dream life. So it almost seems as if, look how Neptune's here again. Um, I mean, could Brad possibly be going back to her? Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? But this could also mean potentially a new mate and somebody who, I mean, in Sagittarius, this would be in Hollywood, but it looks like she becomes queen again. So not a lot of people can do that where they fall and then they can get back up and rise way, way up high again. It seems to me that that's what she's doing. The other thing too is, she's going to have probably some financial issues as she's in all of these legal, with these legal expenses right now. But it seems as if, she's going to take a hit for a few years here, and then she's back up again as princess. And there's this looks like a partner here, Jupiter again, being a partner, a famous partner on television. And my God, he's wealthy. Look at that. So could it be Brad a second time? Could, that could be part of the Mercury and that Gemini energy. I know that if you were to ask either of them now, they would think that I was crazy, but there is something that is happening, it seems, a second time. Okay. And I think that's it. So, hopefully, you guys made it to the end of the show. And thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And I am going to come back on. I'm not going to come back on tonight. I was going to come back on for Hannah Kay, but I think I want to wait one more day, and so I'll be back on tomorrow. So please look out for the notifications. Okay. You thought you wanted to be the first female president. That's interesting. That would be definitely in line. She's going to be in a kingdom somehow. Yeah. Yes, she's going back to Billy Bob. I hope not, because he's in a good relationship, it seems right now. Thank you so much, Angel. Thanks, Zebra Girl. I'm going to give you a minute or so. You guys always have such great comments after I sign off, so I just want to take another minute. But definitely check out Amazon and my new career book, The Secret Career Code, gives you some great tips on how to make real predictions or real life predictions in your own job. And yeah, Kimberly, good point. When you get together and have that much fire, that fire burns up the relationship. Nor weird that they fight so much. Both are rabbits, and I love rabbits. Yeah. Yes, rabbits, they're fast and they procreate. Um, but they're very, very smart too. Yep, it's the War of the Rosé, which would also be Gemini because it would be kind of the twin of the War of the Roses, which, you know what? I haven't seen that one in a while. I think that was with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, but that might have been a remake as well. Knox. Oh my God, Fort Knox. I didn't even think about that. And he's the one that came out. Uh, knocking Brad. So again, the kids are kind of the weapons. And maybe, some people might think that they're being weaponized. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one thing I did want to talk to you about. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, one more second. I am going to look at Brad's solar return for yeah, this is his solar return for this year. And look at how there's Venus here and it's trining Jupiter and it's in Gemini. This looks like a second wife to me. It looks as if he could potentially get married this year. There's an open door, and Brad Pitt could get married in, let's see, December, January, February, March, April. He could at least pop the question. Usually popping the question, it has to do with Aquarius. And that could be, let me do this again. December, January, February, March, April. So April 18th to May 18th, that could happen. And he could also be thinking a lot about marriage, April, May, June, July, August. So it could be August as well. So it looks like such a soap opera this year, and he's going to be really happy that he has Venus in the fifth house. This is a happy family, so he is going to be able to get some relief from some of this drama, and I think it might have. Do you know what her name is? I can't remember what her name is, but there's got to be something. Well, Venus is jewelry. I know she's a jewelry designer, and I don't know. I think he's going to get married this year. What do you guys think? Toy. Yeah, that's I think that's part of all of that Aries this year for Angelina is that she, because she loves him. She loves him. And I don't know about him. I'm not sure, but I know that she really loves him. And sometimes it's hard to tell though, because what do they love? Well, they love the fame, they love the notoriety, they love the attention. Was it truly love? But one thing that I noticed, and you guys can see this with my Elizabeth Taylor two shows that are available for members. And if you'd like to be a member, click the join button. You'll see a lot in her um, relationships that she would be in a movie that had to do with something Neptunian. It was something about water, singing in the rain, because she was marrying the ex-husband of Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds disappeared, with Singing in the Rain. Then Elizabeth Taylor, right as she was acting in whatever it was, something county where she's in the rain all the time. And then her husband disappears. So it always seems like the actress is acting in a movie that has to do with water. And what was Angelina Jolie acting in right before the divorce? She and Brad were producing and acting in, what was it? Beyond the Sea? Was that what it was called? And it was something in the sea. But anyway, it was coastal, and then poof, their relationship disappeared. So another example sometimes is when when Ben, he married Jen Garner, and they got married on the beach. And so that, not to say not to get married on the beach, but that marriage ended up disappearing. And I'm sure oh yeah, that's right. I believe it was J-Lo. She was acting in a movie, and there's a lot of fake rain, in that. I think it was, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. I think it's that one. And this is what she did. She did a remake of Singing in the Rain. Isn't that crazy? And so there again is that sign. It's like a sign or a symbol that water's coming in, something's going to appear, something's going to disappear. Yeah. So, that's right, Ines. Now, de Ramon, I love that name. She speaks French too. Now, with that trine to Jupiter in Gemini, that's a foreign wife. So I know. Sierra user, thank you, Val. All of Hollywood are going through it. I have friends in the industry in Southern California who tell me this. Oh, I bet. Yeah, it's a complete transformation of the industry. It's crazy. Yeah, it is a beautiful name. Yes, water to put out the fire. Good one. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening or day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.